Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal. I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about Phase 4 of the MCU and whether or not I'm really excited about all of the different titles that are coming out. So I've got a lot to talk about. Sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Okay, so if you guys saw my Avengers Endgame review, you guys know that I kind of felt like that was the ending to the MCU in a lot of ways. And I saw Spider-Man Far From Home, and I was like, all right, I guess this is kind of like some odd direction that they're going to be taking some of the characters. And I was like, I'm not sure if I'm really excited to see some of the stuff that's coming down the pipeline. Well, San Diego Comic-Con is happening right now, and last night at Hall H, at Marvel's panel, they announced the next slew of movies, which you can see here, of the movies that are coming down the pipeline. And I'm excited about some of them, and some of them I'm just kind of like, I'm a little skeptically optimistic, and in some ways I'm gonna be like, I don't know if I want to see it. So, and actually some of it is part of the Disney Plus catalog of things, which means that people are going to be leaving Netflix in droves to go and see some of these movies. And this is not just all of the announcements that they've made. They've actually announced some more stuff, little sprinklings of tidbits that I'm going to talk about, but I want to talk about the stuff that's on this calendar first. The first one is Black Widow, and it is a sequel to Captain America Civil War, and it takes place obviously before Avengers Endgame, and it's probably going to give us the groundwork for where the character of Black Widow, the title of Black Widow, is going to be going in the MCU now after the fact with all the events that happened in Avengers Endgame. And I'm not spoiling anything for you, but you definitely need to see Avengers Endgame to understand what I'm talking about and where they're going to go with the character. To be quite honest with you, I feel like this is a movie that should have been made after Civil War. It should have come out then. I wanted to see that movie then. Now I'm kind of skeptical. Now it's like, I know where they're going, so I'm like, you know? And that's how I feel. And I would say the same thing about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I actually kind of like that idea just simply because it gives us an opportunity to see those two characters now after Avengers Endgame and see where they go with it. And to what I understand, it's supposed to be a limited series. It's not supposed to be something that's going to be like, you know, an ongoing series. It's not going to have like multiple seasons. They're going to do like a few episodes. And that's pretty much all the Disney Plus stuff that's coming out. Apparently it's going to be like short order series that give you the setup for probably the next big event movie instead of doing like, you know, so they're probably going to have TV budgets, you know, so if you know anything about like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I really feel bad for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because they're going into their last season and they're like no longer part of the MCU anymore. Like none of those characters are part of it. And that kind of stinks because I really liked some of the characters in that show until like some of the later seasons, as I think I kind of gave up somewhere around season 4 or season 5, somewhere around there, and I was just like it's not as good as it used to be. But like that's the thing is like, you know, you can only run a show so far before, you know, either you need to like merge it with the rest of the MCU or you need to drop entirely, and that's what they're doing. They're doing the same thing with Netflix's shows, but I'm not, you know, I don't know, like I kind of feel like they should be part of the MCU because they did so much amazing setup with those characters, and they should just insert them into the MCU where they belong. The next movie on the list is The Eternals. And I don't know enough about the Eternals to give you a solid opinion about whether or not I'm like excited about them. But I did a little bit of research, just kind of see like, okay, well, what are the Eternals about? Oh, okay, they're a group of superheroes that were created by Jack Kirby. Kind of sounds cool. Does it looks like it's going to be something, you know, interesting? Well, it looks like they've been part of the MCU all along, so it's going to be a good thing in my eyes. And I hope the movie is good. I can't give like a solid opinion on it, you know, other than the fact that it's like, maybe it might be good, maybe it might not be. Shang-Chi, though, and the Legend of the Ten Rings. First of all, they are giving us the true Mandarin. The Mandarin that we saw in Iron Man 3 is not the Mandarin. The Mandarin that's showing up in Shang-Chi is going to be the real Mandarin. And the character of Shang-Chi is basically like the MCU's version, or I should say the Marvel Universe's version of Bruce Lee. He is like a super martial artist. It's like better than, I wonder if you would say he's better than Iron Fist, because Iron Fist wasn't that good of a show. And I'm hoping Shang-Chi is good. It sounds good. I've never ever read any of the Shang-Chi comics, so it sounds amazing on paper. I'm hoping that it's good. And I love kung fu movies. So if it's going to be like MCU's version of like a kung fu movie, I'm game. I definitely want to see it. And now the next thing is WandaVision. WandaVision is going to be on the Disney Plus service, just like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, probably another limited series. And WandaVision is going to be something to do with, obviously, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. And I don't know if it's going to actually be like before Avengers Endgame, or if it's going to be like, before Infinity War, or if it's going to be after the fact. That's a good question. I really want to know where they're going to go with it. But apparently the events that happen in WandaVision are going to be a direct tie to the next MCU movie, and that's Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And I don't like the title of that. That pretty much means that they are going to pull from different universes to be able to pull into the MCU because they now have the idea of splinter timelines, so they're going to start bringing characters in. It's probably how they're going to bring in the Fantastic Four, which is something that Kevin Feige did hint at, that they are in development of the Fantastic Four. And since the Fantastic Four really doesn't tie well into the MCU, the only way to do it is to use Doctor Strange to bring in the Fantastic Four, to bring in the X-Men, to bring in any of these characters that, have no place in the world of the MCU unless you pull them from other universes, which might mean that we might see Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland on screen as Spider-Man at the same time thanks to Doctor Strange. I wouldn't put it past the MCU to do something like that. The next series, they're going to do Loki, and this is going to be a splinter timeline that is tied to an event that occurred during Avengers Endgame. It's going to be part of the Disney Plus service, so it's going to take place on a splinter timeline. What happens to Loki with this? And that kind of sounds like a good idea on paper. I'll see where they go with it. I'm cautiously optimistic. I like the character of Loki. A lot of people love Loki, so it gives a lot of people reason to see that. And then you have What If. Now, I like the idea of What If. It's like one-shot episodes that, what if Captain America, wore his, Buccaneer boots in 2019? What if, the superheroes acted and behaved like their 616 comic book universe counterparts instead of what the MCU decided to do? That's what I would want to see, but we'll see. They might do completely different things that I'm really curious if What If is going to be a worthwhile series. But I always like the ideas of What Ifs as one shots. Like, this is like, someone, makes it's almost like, you could say it's like fan fiction in a way, but done officially through Marvel. Like, what if this happened? What if that happened? And you can make 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour episodes if you wanted to with What If. And I think this opens up the opportunity for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness to start inserting some things into the MCU from the What Ifs. Who knows? The next TV show that will be on the Disney Plus, of course, is going to be Hawkeye. And we're not talking about Clint Barton. This is going to be Clint Barton handling on the reins to Kate Bishop. And I'm wondering if this is going to be Kate Bishop is going to be a new character, or if Kate Bishop is going to be the daughter of Hawkeye that we saw in Avengers Endgame. And because I don't think that's Kate Bishop, I think it's a different character, but we'll see. Maybe Kate Bishop might be an alias, just like Hawkeye is an alias. So that would be something that would be pretty cool if they do it that way. But I know a lot of people are big Hawkeye fans. Some, they're big fans of the new Hawkeye. I am a Clint Barton person, so I prefer that old school style, character. And then the next movie is going to be Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, this one is where I think the MCU is going in a direction that I'm not excited to see. One that I may or may not actually watch. And the reason why is because, well, first of all, it's going to be Valkyrie is going to be the queen of, or king of Asgard. And Thor is going to be off doing his own thing. And maybe Mjolnir is going to be coming back because Jane Foster is coming back. And she's going to become Jane Thor. So, yeah. I'm not excited about that. I don't like that run in the comics. I don't care for the idea of it. I think they're just doing it because, it's the 2019 and this is the way that the MCU has to go. I love the logo though. I love the logo. It looks so 80s, which is awesome. It's some same thing with Thor Ragnarok. They captured this like fun vibe, and I don't think they're going to be doing the same thing with Thor. But then again, you know what? I will take a step back and go, if it's good, it's good. Some of these movies and TV shows, though, I'll be completely honest with you. I am skeptical. I don't feel like I need to go see them. I feel like Avengers Endgame ended the MCU for me in such a way that I can pick and choose any of these TV shows or movies and whether or not I want to see any of them. Some of them excite me. Some of the ideas excite me, and some of them I'm like, Shang-Chi, I want to see. Loki, that kind of sounds like a pretty cool idea. Eternals, I don't know anything about. Black Widow, I think it's a little too, I think it's too late for that one. Thor: Love and Thunder, I want to see Guardians 3 before I want to see Thor 4. That's just my personal opinion, especially what ended up happening after Endgame. Again, I'm trying not to spoil what happened at the end of Endgame, but, the big news that ended up happening that did excite me, that I think is a great idea, but it's just as skeptical as I am excited for it, and that's Blade. I love Wesley Snipes as Blade. Those movies were freaking badass, man. I freaking love Wesley Snipes as Blade. I love the first two movies especially, and I get laughs out of the third one. There's a couple lines in the third one that are so ridiculously stupid, but I absolutely loved it for that reason. And now they're bringing in Mahershala Ali. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but he played an amazing Cottonmouth in Luke Cage. If you've not seen Luke Cage before, he played a fantastic villain. And this is kind of the reason why I'm a little skeptical about Blade. And the reason why is not because of the actor. The actor is great. He's fantastic. He's already played an MCU role, though. And that's the thing, though. Is Luke Cage part of the MCU? If it's not, I guess maybe we can sit there and say, well, okay, well, the same actor played him, but he's playing a different character, and we're just going with that. If that's the way they want to do it, I guess that's fine, because he played a great Cottonmouth. Let me tell you something. Luke Cage was awesome. I loved the Luke Cage TV show on Netflix, and he was a great actor in that TV show. And seeing him playing Blade, I think it's going to be hard for me to overlook the fact that he's not Wesley Snipes. That to me is probably the biggest, hard thing to overlook because of how iconic Wesley Snipes playing Blade was to me. But I'm perfectly fine with him, taking over the role. Apparently, he's the one who brought it to Kevin Feige and said, look, I got an idea for Blade. And if that's the way they want to do it, great. Because if you guys have to understand something. Blade was like the first Marvel superhero who got a big break and made superhero movies what they are. It was before X-Men, it was before Spider-Man. We had Blade, and he was awesome, and I want to see more of it. And I would love to see an MCU version of Blade as long as you make the character good, as long as you give the supporting cast good roles, and you don't do things that take away from who the character is. And I'm excited to see it because I think that they can do a lot of good things with Blade. And that's the one that I'm excited about the most out of anything. I'm excited for, some martial arts Bruce Lee stuff, and I'm excited for some, kick-ass sword fighting vampires. Like, it's just, those two things just like completely excite me. But the rest of the stuff, I'm just kind of like, I know they're working on Guardians 3. I know they're working on Black Panther 2. I know they're working on Captain Marvel, which I'm not going to see Captain Marvel. Again, this is where I feel that we no longer need to see every single MCU movie anymore. We can watch one because it looks good, see it, and if it's good, great. If it's not, we can drop it. We're past the point where needing to see every MCU movie is important anymore. They may have all the continuity start to intermingle, but in my eyes, I can do without it now at this point. So, but I want to know what you guys think. Are you excited about all this MCU news, or are you just kind of like, with the stories? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I've got more down the pipeline, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.